Yeah, the last couple of weeks didn't have any impact whatsoever. I mean, we've lost 2 games literally on the last play of the game, but we've been working really hard. So I thought it was again a small step in the right direction. I think we completed at 83% or something like that, and I thought defensively we were much better with our first contact, and we showed a lot of spirit.
You said during the week that you needed to put a lot of pressure on the Raiders' back 5. I mean, did you think you were able to do that successfully tonight?
Yeah, I thought for the most part. Yeah, I thought our kicking game for the most part was pretty effective. We thought we did a good job containing them. Probably a big play was not long before half time when they shifted the footy. They caught us napping there a little bit. We were quite compressed, but that's learning for our guys. And as I said, probably a little bit of it's a little bit frustrating at the moment, and probably some guys feeling a little bit sorry for themselves. But we're preparing really strongly, and we're having a red hot crack. I think other than the Roosters game, although things haven't gone our way results wise, the young guys are learning, and that's probably highlighted by Payne Haas, 19-year-old kid playing 80 minutes straight, and we finished the game with 3 19-year-old middles in Tom Payne and Tom Flegler, Payne Haas, and Dave Feeder, and all those guys having a red hot crack. And Paddy Carrigan, who's only 20, was off the bench there playing through the middle as well. And again, I thought against a pretty experienced Raiders team, he did a really good job as well. So certainly some small steps for us.
In some of those errors and penalties, does that come about because of that pressure that from the outside, and I guess pressure from inside the team to get that second win?
I didn't think we made it highly by errors tonight. I think we completed 83%, which is elite. So I didn't feel as though we made errors. I thought if anything that we could improve on, it was just probably knocking off for some key moments there in defence. But you look at the try there when the ball came off the Raiders player's head. That's an ounce of luck, isn't it? And they ruled no try because I thought potentially they thought Croker was offside, but it was actually they ruled no try because they thought it was a knock on. But only had one look at the video ref, only had one look, and it looked to me as though he was offside, and our players thought he was. But sometimes you'll get a call, sometimes you don't, and at the moment we're not getting the call.
Obviously, James Roberts off the bench tonight. He's obviously had a pretty disrupted start to the season, but what did you make of his performance tonight in relatively limited minutes?
Yeah, well, he played, I think it was maybe 34 minutes or something like that. So that was pretty much what we had planned. We planned for him going on sort of around about the 10-minute mark of the second half. He hasn't done a lot of training with us over the last couple of weeks, so I just thought, Katoni Staggs had done a good job and deserved the start of the game. And I thought Jimmy brought, plenty of energy and a little bit of a threat there. But, again, we'll review it and have a look at what we need to do next week.
Based on the last couple of weeks with Jimmy, how long do you think until he's back to his best?
He hasn't done much training with us. He's done 2 training sessions since the Dragons game, I think it is. So, with us, in the main group. So, I thought he was okay out there tonight. I'll have a good look, but just with the eye, coach's eye in the second half, I thought he tried really hard.
Do you reckon he's the type of player, obviously Origin player, that can get back to that Origin form pretty quick?
I'm not sure what Origin form is, but all we need him to do is do his job for us, and I thought he made some good strides there.
How's Darius?
Insofar as
he had his knee strapped, I think, in the first half.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what that was about. Yeah, but I was just talking to him in there. He didn't sort of say anything to me. Just he's ready to. Obviously disappointed and a little bit frustrated, like we all are. But just ready to go back to work tomorrow.
In Canberra, we're sort of, I guess, used to the close losses. Is that sort of becoming a bit frustrating for you as well?
Well, it's obviously we've had 3 really tight ones out of the last 4 games, and when they don't go your way, I think you are very disappointed. But for me, it's really important to be composed and look at the bigger picture. As I said, we made some really good steps forward tonight. It's a tough place to come here. Canberra have been playing really well and very dominant in the first 5 rounds. Other than one half of footy against the Melbourne Storm, I think they've been a very dominant team. So we've had a really challenging start, with regards to Melbourne and Roosters and some informed teams like the Dragons won a few in a row, and also the Raiders. So it's learning for us. But again, 3 out of the last 4 games we've been there or thereabouts right at the death, and we just haven't been able to get the result, which some of our doing, and sometimes like the bounce of the ball off the head tonight. Sometimes it doesn't go your way, but You know, I look at the bigger picture, and for me, there was some really good signs tonight.
You mentioned bigger picture. Obviously, probably a bit too early to be thinking about changes, or you're going to back the young guys that they're going to keep growing and keep learning from mistakes or experiences that they've had.
Yeah, I mean, Raiders won 5 from 6. I don't think our younger players looked out of their depth there tonight. I think, you know, in my opinion, Payne was probably the best middle forward on the field. You know, he played 80 minutes this week. He played 63 minutes last week. So yeah, I'm going to back the young players. I'm going to back our team. You know, we're a shandy away. You know, as I said, we had an opportunity to win it there at the death. We didn't quite get it done. In the last, 2 of the last 3 games, we lost it with literally the last play of the game. So we're not a million miles away. You know, it's not like we're getting lapped every week. And I think, you know, the Roosters were very dominant there probably 3 weeks ago against us, but they've led 30-0 against Cronulla, 20-0 against Melbourne, 26-0 against Manly, and 22-0 against us. So there's a bit of a trend there, you know. So, yeah, it's disappointing because we're 1 from 6 if you look purely at results. But if you look at the progress we made, you know, Tom Flegler and Payne Haas had 9 NRL games between them, and they were our starting front rows, and I thought they did a hell of a job. You know, Paddy Carrigan come off the bench in his second game, did a hell of a job. So we're, you know, we're making small steps. Disappointed about the result, obviously, though.
All the positives you just mentioned, obviously coming to Brisbane with a relatively young team, it was going to be a challenge, but through the first 6 rounds, has it been an even bigger challenge than you anticipated?
No, I knew what it. You know, I knew what the squad looked like. You know, the club has gone in a specific direction there. You know, if you look at the players who are not here this year, who were there last year, you know, Josh Maguire, Sam Thaiday, Jordan Kahu, all international players, and Corbin Sims is a really established first grade player. So there's a lot of experience there. But the club's deliberately gone down that route, you know, because, like I keep saying, you know, we had 5, you know, players under 21 playing through our middle, and that's exciting because, you know, they're learning on the run in some ways, but they've showed that they're NRL players, and they wouldn't be in the team if we didn't think they could do the job, you know. So it's just some small moments in games. You know, the big turning point was off the back of the 40-20, which was classed by White, and I think it was, and they scored, you know, essentially 2 tries off the back of that. That was the big turning point. Before that, we were up by 2, and you know, they were stuck in their half, and Whiten's class, you know, had a dummy half there. I think it was dummy half anyway, but Whiten's class, you know, it was a fantastic kick, and yeah, they played really well. The Raiders, and they're playing really well. So, as I keep saying, it's small steps for us. Disappointed to be 1 from 6, but the reality of it is that's where we're at, and you know, we've got to continue to look to improve.
One of the biggest teams in the NRL, Brisbane, obviously, fans aren't used to a one win from 6 round start. Are you feeling the pinch at all?
No, not at all. I think you know, when you're going through tough times, that's when you see who's really a rusted-on supporter and who's really dedicated to the cause. Like, this is an easy time for people to have a free shot at the Broncos. You know, I've only been back there since December, but you know, whether it's you know, ex-players or old boys, whether it's supporters, members, whoever it is, you know, it's probably an easy time to have a crack at the club. The thing that I've seen in my short time at the club is it's a really resilient bunch in there, and if they're willing to be patient through the tough times, they'll get some joy. Like I said, there's no other team in the competition who's had 3 19-year-olds playing through the middle at the back end of the game, and they weren't out of their depth, and they're in the team because we believe in them, and we believe in them, you know, that they can do the job. You know, we've got 9 players under 22 in our team at the moment. So all I can say is stick solid, but you know, the real supporters and the people who really believe in the club, they'll stick solid through this tough time, and you know, I'll continue to navigate the group and stay the course and seek counsel in you know, the people who I really trust. But I've got a good understanding of coaching. I know what we're doing well. I know where we need to improve and what's important next.
Right, thank you.